the sum of the first 14 terms of a geometric sequence is 16,383. So we can write that out in the right notation. 16,383 is S14. Common ratio, so they tell us R is equal to -2, and we want to find term 1. So if we look at our geometric series formula, Sn is term 1, 1 minus r to the n over 1 minus r. In order to solve for term 1, we would have to be able to plug in everything else. So we know sum of 14. So when n is 14, we know the sum of 14. And we know the r value. So just doing a quick check mark, I know all of the other variables except for the term 1. This allows me to solve. Now I can just plug in the numbers. So I know that S14 is 16,383. I know that r, put it in brackets because it's negative, is -2. And I would know that n is 14 over 1 minus -2. So now my goal is to use my algebra to get term 1 by itself. So first of all, I hope you can see that on the bottom that will be a +3. If I want to get rid of dividing by 3, the opposite of dividing by 3 would be to multiply both sides by 3. That would simplify this and this. And on the other side, if I take out my calculator, 3 times 16,383 is 49,149 is equal to term 1 multiplied by, and this part inside, if I do that, again, I can do that all together on my calculator. I can go 1 minus, oops, not if I do that. There we go. 1 minus bracket -2 to the exponent of 14. I get -16,383. So notice how I type the whole thing into my calculator all at once. I want to show you some dangers. I'm going to just write down this number. Okay. I want to show you some dangers of things that students do that causes them problems. Problem number 1 is they try to do this separate, and the first thing they're going to do is they're going to do -2 to the 14, and they write the following: -2 to the power of 14. Does that not seem right? It seems good. I wrote exactly what I wanted to write. I said I wanted -2 to the power of 14. But if I write it this way, my calculator does order of operations like it's supposed to. An order of operations say you do exponents first. It did 2 to the 14, and then multiplied by a negative afterwards. This is different than -2 to the 14, which is positive 16,384. Should make sense that a negative to an even exponent will be positive. So we got to be careful with that. So it is nice if you can type it in all at once, you'll make less mistakes. But if you were doing this a little bit by a little bit, and you did the -2 to the 14 first, then you'd have to do 1 minus 16,384. You would get -16,383. Divide both sides by that, and you get term 1 is -3. Just number 13 to circle.